Cold start for the boys. I'm actually trying to put this back on. I did buy this off some guy used for pretty cheap. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in one of my other videos, but I think I got this thing for like 30 pounds. I'm probably gonna put that on soon. Strut bar, for some reason, my car didn't come with one, but I got one. So that didn't go on just because obviously we're waiting. I was waiting to get my car running so I can put it on so it wasn't in the way. Now it's just cold and I don't want to do it. But oh sweet, thought I left that locked. There she is. Yeah, I left it outside last night because it's been pretty rainy lately and I didn't want to bring it in here all wet, so I'm gonna go get my dog. Are you waiting to come outside? Yeah. You come here and say hi? Yeah. He's a good girl. What's up? What's up? What's up? Layla, come here. Hey, sit. 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 Your paw? Hey. Good girl. Yeah, who's a good girl? What's all done to this thing? Well, for starters, my buddy Angel bought an Evo 6 and it came with this wing on it and he wasn't too fond of it, so I went ahead and bought it off him. Super cool dude. Can't believe he sold it to me, but I love it. It's a genuine AP Boss wing from way back when. I know Carbot Composites makes one now, but that's an original, so that's pretty dope. Weight savings. Next thing I got here, probably one of my most favorites and most useful thing I've ever done to either of my Evos is the hood struts. So I still got my hood prop here. Only reason is because if my struts fail or, you know, the extreme weather takes them out, I want to be able to hold my hood up even if it's barely as high. So this JDC Heatshield here on the valve cover, man, I've had that since my first Evo. I think I bought it about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even know at this point, but I love that thing. It's freaking gorgeous and it's great. I have so much JDC titanium on here. It's honestly unbelievable. I got my power steering heat shield bolts there. I got all these lines of, or these reservoirs. See that hardware in there, and there. I got my motor mount in there. Back here, the power steering pump itself, or the reservoir. This thing is gross. My fender liner bolt all the way up. I got these up here. So these bolts, obviously on the same one on each side broke. I'm assuming when the hood's closed, water does collect under here. So it would kind of make sense that those broke. It's fucking rust. Spark plug cover hardware, injector harness hardware, a throttle cable. That hardware is titanium. Throttle body, titanium. I might have a problem, but this titanium stuff is freaking gorgeous. And honestly, it's actually pretty practical. So you can't see under my heat shield here, but the exhaust manifold studs, they're actually all titanium as well. And the reason I did that was because on my Evo 8, they were so rusty and cruded from, you know, this massive opening in the hood. Rain just comes in here and it sits on all this stuff. Like look at that. It's unbelievable. So Let's see, is this coming loose? Nah. This one's coming loose. Look at that. Yep. Time to take this shield off and make sure all those bolts are all good in there, actually. I don't understand why these come loose, because honestly, I tighten the shit out of these things, and this isn't the first time. I know these things, I think the torque spec for them is actually like 13 pounds or something, but it's always this one right here that comes loose. And then there's one on the back side of the O2 housing that I've had come loose and actually fall off on the highway. It's fucking weird. So yeah, titanium, 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 all the way up, titanium, titanium. I'm not kidding, I might have a problem. See some more, I got all those back there. Got some in there. It's unbelievable. And then my hardware holding this fuse box in there is also titanium. But yeah, so as you can see, there's no shortage of titanium on this car. I even got, where is it? This bolt right here. This honestly is only there because I had a leftover. But these ones here, useless, you can't even see. I know they're there, so that's cool. And I got my JDC ignition system under here. Yeah, let's pop that off. Got my old handy dandy T-Rich. What? I've dropped these before. It's probably the worst experience you could ever imagine. I probably dropped them doing this one-handed. One eternity later. Oh, work with me. Yes. Let's put that right there. Please don't fall. It is so dirty under here. Man, so when I was thinking about options of what color to get this valve cover done in, I asked a few of my friends, and one of them said, whatever you do, don't get white. And obviously that was the color I was already thinking of. I'll tell you, you were right. This thing gets dirty as soon as you look at it, and I hate it. But it looks so good. Like, it looks unbelievably good. Next to red, this is probably one of the best colors out there. Damn. We're leaving shit all over the place. Where does this go? I think this actually goes to that bolt right in there for my heat shield. So, nice. There's probably loose tools or shit all over the place in here, honestly. But yeah, JDC ignition system. This thing is great. Well, handy dandy brush. We're gonna clean this up in here. Should have listened. Look at me now. Yeah, now we're gonna have to take this off. So we're gonna move this to a more safe location. Leave it right up here. What's that? Someone over there? Grab my handy dandy tools. Boom. I think there are 4. We're gonna go with the 5. 5 it is. Should I just bring that in here? I should just bring that in here. Let's bring that in here. But yeah, back to the, I guess, original goal of this. What's all done to the car? So, apart from all that titanium, I did have this Plazaman lower intercooler pipe that I was going to put on the car. When I went to go put it on, I had the Evo 8 starter in here. And with the Evo 8 starter, the coupler was touching the starter, and I didn't want to use it like that. That was on the Plazaman J pipe. So I tried using the factory J pipe. Obviously that one's a little too small. And with the Evo 6 starter back on, which that is for an Evo 6, I didn't try it. So the Evo 6 starter, the area where it was touching, I think it's either the ground for the starter, it's slightly in a different spot, so it's obviously going to work with the Evo 6 one, but I didn't bother with it. I just wanted to get this car running, so I just was like, whatever, just worry about it at another time. I did get some grounds, actually. They're all in here. So yeah, where are they at? Here they are. I got some ground cables for the Evo. So I got these from, I think that's no, not Go Fast Bits, PFB. Some guy in the DSM community, he was actually making these for tons of other cars, and I was like, hey, I need a set for the Evo. You got any? So these are actually for the Evo 8 and 9, and they actually, they work well, but when I pulled this out, I put all the factory grounds back in, but I did get plenty for other areas. So as you can see, this one here goes from manifold to the firewall. I do have my transmission to chassis in there, and then all these other ones are for intake manifold to back of the engine, strut tower bar to the, I think this is strut tower, driver side strut tower to the engine, and then some other ones I've lost the markings, but yeah. So we got the JDC cam position sensor cover, JDC cam position sensor heat shield, obviously all in titanium. Obviously I have my I have a different intake in here, so I have the factory upper intercooler pipe, which is the one that comes down here, goes down to the intercooler, but in order to run this turbo, I needed a different intake, and the stock intake was actually too small, so I couldn't get a reducer. I instead just decided to sell my stock setup and go ahead and get an aftermarket intake. So instead of the intake being up here, it's now down here behind the headlight like the Evo 7 to 8s. And then I got this Evo 10 fusible link, but if you remember me saying this bracket it sits on, no one actually makes one for the Evo 4 to 6, but because I wanted to use this, I decided to make one, and it was actually pretty successful. This thing is working and super cool. I think this took me probably about a couple hours with cardboard, just cutting it out, gluing the cardboard together, cutting holes in, and then bolting that cardboard bracket in there. It took a few hours to make, and then I tried sending it to Send Cut Send, but I couldn't get the file right or something, and I just gave up on that because it was a pretty big hassle, and I already had it made, so I just sent it off to someone to get it done, and Paul Martin did that for me, so thank you, Paul, appreciate you. Another thing that's done, so the shifter cable end links here, I have bearings in here from Raw Sport. I'll link that in the description. I'll put a picture up right now. But these bearings in there, they're nice. They're really nice. So instead of having the bushings where they just like pull, when you go to shift gears and everything, the bearings actually rotate, so it's a bit smoother of a transition. And I got, so on the shifter linkage itself down here, I'll put another picture. There's like this moon-shaped clip that the factory piece actually creates a lot of slack between the shifter linkage and that piece it actually clips into. I'll put a picture above, but that actually takes out a whole lot of slack, and the whole shifting experience in this car is actually really nice, and I do quite enjoy it. So that's a nice little, I think is like maybe like 30-40 pounds total. Definitely mods worth doing. Yeah, I got a under chassis strut brace over there, the H pattern ones. I'm gonna pull my car back out actually, and I'm gonna show you my dash, because you might have seen it in another video or you might have seen it on Instagram, but I have a flock dash and it's absolutely amazing. It transforms the inside of the car. So pretty excited to show you that one. And then my gauge is up there. So let's snap to that. South Coast flocking, flocked dash. I got this thing for like 180 pounds, I believe, last year. And then my most recent purchase from them was the gauge pod holder. So this trim piece is from them. It's actually an OEM piece, and the pods that actually hold the gauges, it's, I guess, cut and fitted into that piece. So it's a guaranteed perfect fitment, because it's an OEM piece, you know. It's just these gauges are put on top of it, so as you'd expect, fits perfectly. That's pretty much it for the interior. I got my oil pressure gauge, my boost gauge, and my FR gauge. So pretty big, important ones to me. Love this thing. Really transforms the car. Look who's being a good girl. She's a princess. But I don't keep my steering wheel this slow. I just wanted to show the dash off. Yeah, looks like we're about to get some rain right when I was about to clean this car. Cops are probably looking for me. Hopefully not. We're gonna go get some soap for this car, because this thing's dirty. Obviously this weather is horrendous, and I haven't touched this car in a while, so it hasn't been cleaned. But